y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hey, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the title, what we talking about today, who's in the Christmas cheer? Honestly, you know, the older I get, the less I start to care about Christmas. Not like Jesus' birth Christmas, you know, I'm talking about like the hoopla, right? The buzzing, you know. I get so annoyed. I know I'm old and I'm auntie status because I get all outside and I'm like, why are y'all all outside? Christmas ain't about toys. Why can't I go get my facial cleanser because y'all scattered about them all? You know, at the end of the day, there are some things I love about Christmas, right? I love some of the traditions that are tied to Christmas, and one of them being watching Christmas movies, of course. So today we're gonna talk about my top 5. This list is my top 5. You know, obviously there's so many Christmas movies out there that people, you know, love when they get together with their families, and they're a classic, a staple, a must-see in their families. That's a little different for all of us. There are a lot that connect us, but the list varies for some of us, right, on what is the best. And these are my top 5, okay? Let's get into it. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. Down a size and a half. And this time I'll keep it off. Let's get into the list, y'all. Let's get into it. So first I want to start off with some honorable mentions. Some movies that didn't make my top 5 list, but nonetheless, whatever the case may be, they are still great movies that I really, really enjoy and would watch on Christmas still, but just didn't make my list. On my honorable mentions list, I have The Polar Express, Best Man Holiday, Friday After Next, just watched that with my mama, we were dying, and Home Alone. That's my honorable mention, right? Y'all didn't make the list, but I still love y'all. And I am ranking these in order from kind of like my least favorite of the top 5 to my utmost favorite. At number 5, we have Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. I remember watching this movie. It used to come on in the Disney Channel, you know, like OG Disney Channel. I mean, like that Disney Channel. And it used to come on all the time during Christmas season. I just remember loving it. You know, I love that the movie felt so fast paced for me. Like, it was, mind you, I was young lad. This movie came out in 1996, so I was 4 years old when it came out. Loved it. I loved like the Tom and Jerry feel of the chase. You know, I love that about it. Very nostalgic movies, just as most Christmas movies are for us. You know, that's why we watch them, because they're nostalgic. They tug on our heartstrings in that way. I love how funny Sinbad's character was. Like, he was just such a character to me. So it's one of the things I really love about the movie is his humor. And as a child, like, I think I related to this movie because who can't relate as a child of having that one thing on their list that they want so bad, and really hoping for it. And you know, we all have, you know, different circumstances, but sometimes parents can't get it for us, and like they want to try to get it all for us, and depending on whatever the circumstance might be, whether it be money, whether it be like they're just not available, we know, like, as we get older, we can appreciate that part of it. You know, when we're younger, I related to, man, I really want a toy too. For me, it was an Easy Bake Oven. I wanted an Easy Bake Oven so bad as a child, y'all. My parents never got it for me until the Christmas that I was 14 years old. They came out with an Easy Bake Oven. Like, you've been asking for so many years, here's an Easy Bake Oven. I'm like, I can cook on the real stove now. I wanted that back when I was couldn't cook, you know? So here I was, 14 years old with an Easy Bake Oven, making food I can make on the stove because I knew how to use the stove at 14. And then for me, like, the plot twist of his son saying, I don't need the toy, Daddy, I just want you, was a plot twist for me, at least when I was younger. And I don't know, that for me was like a deep moment, very, very deep, cinematically deep for me when I was younger. And I don't know, I just love the feel goodness of that coming full circle, and kind of like a reminder that it's not all about toys. You know, as you get older, you can see it was telling you that it's not all about toys, you spoiled brat. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, I have This Christmas, 2007 is when it came out, starring Idris Elba, Regina King, Loretta Devine, Delroy Lindo, Chris Brown, Lauren London, Columbus Short, Mekhi Phifer, and Sharon Leal. The movie got all the beautiful Black ensemble people. Like, they call it, it's an ensemble cast. It has so many characters, and that's partly why I love it. Perhaps the culture's favorite version of the song This Christmas comes from this movie. We all love that. This Christmas. We love Chris Breezy's version of This Christmas. I don't care if, I don't even can't think of the guy who sings the other OG version. Shout out to him. But Chris Breezy's version is the OG version for us millennials now. Like, even in church, if y'all singing this Christmas, you singing the version, you putting the runs that Chris Brown did, because that's what's stuck in your head now. So, although some of the characters are cliche, you know, they kind of like are very like tropey. I love how they, like, the characters actually feel like they led different lives and now they're coming together from their different lives. It didn't feel like, you know, kind of staged in that way, but it did feel like they were out there kind of doing their own thing. And I love how contrasting their routes, their life routes were, you know, and it was very diverse, like far as like the paths each sibling took. And I love that, right? So real. And since it's like that, I feel like that you know, why this is such a great Christmas movie is because watching it with your family on Christmas, there's someone there on screen that everyone can kind of relate to, empathize with the most, or see themselves in. So I really like that about the film. There's a little bit there for everybody, just because there is everybody on screen. Lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds, lots of different personalities coming together, which is how we are as Black people, right? We're not a monolith. We got a lot of things going on, right? We got a lot bubbling under the pot, which we all know. It's kind of like why we love movies like Soul Food, right? There's like both familiar and unfamiliar family dynamics, right? That are being explored in such a lighthearted way. There's just such a nice balance of levity and seriousness in this movie. It's why I love it. It's a great combination, as we know. It's a tried and true combination, especially with Christmas movie, right? Christmas movies are Christmas movie because they appeal to the whole family most of the time, right? There's something that the whole family can watch, and that's even better when it's not like we're all watching it because we love this movie, but we all watch it because, oh my gosh, you are such a freaking Idris. I specifically can relate to Idris's character because his relationship with Joseph, you know, my mom got remarried when I was a teenager, and I can relate to that, you know, kind of like push and pull kind of conflict of a new stepdad and like, you're not my real daddy and we're my real daddy. But still in the end, like, he kind of puts that aside and his stepdad comes through for him. Like, I can relate to that. My stepdad comes through for me all the time. I'm living under his roof. Because you felt like you the man of the house, and that's kind of how I was. I was the woman of the house. I helped, you know, took care of my siblings. So, except for he didn't take care of his siblings. He did. He said, I'm out of here. The music is calling. And this movie has Chris Brown in it. Breezy. Okay? Chris Brown, who made me fall in love with, I don't know who made me fall in love with Try a Little Tenderness more, Chris Brown or Donkey from Shrek. I'm just kidding. It was definitely Chris Brown. We gotta admit, that was one of the dopest parts of the film, is when he was, oh, she may be weary. Yeah. It's one of those beautiful Black movies you gotta watch on Christmas. Boom. All right, number 3, y'all. Number 3, I have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. Came out in 2001. The best rendition of Rudolph. Don't care what you say. Sorry. No, just kidding, but to me it is the best. A lot of y'all don't know about this Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. I'm putting you guys on to the best one, so listen up, cats. The music in this movie is on point, okay? The songs are so catchy, the songs are so funny, lively. I love the music, right? It gives Backyardigans, right? If you love, I don't know how many of you guys watch Backyardigans as grown people, I do. The music in Backyardigans is dope. I'm sorry, it can win Grammys. And low key, that's how this Rudolph movie music is. The music, you know, advances the plot, so it's kind of like a musical movie, I guess you would say. One of the songs in this movie will be my first dance song for my wedding if I ever get married. If you watch it, I'm sure you can figure out which one it is. It's an absolutely gorgeous song. It's a beautiful ballad that doesn't even seem like it should fit in that movie because it's just that good of a song. The characters are unique, hilarious, funny. Like, there's an elf that doesn't want to make toys, wants to be a dentist, so he's kind of quirky. One of the main themes of the movie is like not fitting in, right? So, of course, like in line with Rudolph. I love the quirkiness of this film and this rendition of Rudolph especially. It's just a very lighthearted, fun movie, although the graphics and the animation is kind of piss poor. The animation gives, I'm a college student going to college for animation, and here's one of my projects. I'm not gonna lie. But it's kind of one of the reasons why I like it. It's just kind of like a cult classic. Check it out. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. Toys, toys, toys. We're on the Island of Misfit Toys. All right, at number 2, we have Elf. Of course we have Elf at number 2. It's Elf. It's Will Ferrell. It's Elf. Starring Will Ferrell, James Caan, and Zooey Deschanel. Elf is a classic at this point, right? I feel like it's probably on everybody's list. It's a classic. It's such a funny and kind of like surreal movie. Like, there's a lot of surrealism in this movie that I don't think I noticed or really like attached to surrealism until like later in life. It came out in 2003. there's just so many high quality moments in this movie, like so many high quality like motifs or scenes. I don't know what to call them, motifs or scenes, but just like moments that are like embedded in your memory. Like even if you don't remember the whole movie, you're never gonna forget certain moments of Elf. Like certain things happen and like, you know, he's like, did you escape from Santa's workshop? Like we all gonna think that part is funny forever. Or when Will Ferrell and Zooey Deschanel are singing Baby It's Cold Outside. It's one of, like, again, that movie made me love that song. And I know that song's controversial, so don't come for me, but I'm just saying there are tear-jerking moments, little tear, you know, not like, but like, and there's belly rolling laughter moments, like super hilarious moments that are just like you're busting a gut. And then there's just like, you know, light, fun, sincere moments, right? The movie has a good job with the relationship. They feel sincere, especially the relationship between Buddy and Michael. Like, I think that relationship just feels so sincere. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the snowball fight, and that part is just so funny, man. And I just love that. Like, he came to his, like, that's his new little brother. He's discovering his new little brother for the first time, and then they click, and it's just, it's beautiful, right? I love it. Buddy's naivete in the movie is like such a fun lens to like experience some very serious dynamics through, like some very serious things. Like, here's an adult son, his dad left him, his mom died. Very serious things, but Buddy is so airhead. It's just fun to like see him navigate that, right? With such a like lighthearted character. It's just, the movie is good. We know why it's good, you know. It's not a review. This is just me talking about my movies. I love Will Ferrell. Like, as far as like movie comedians, he's one of my top favorites. Like, Kicking and Screaming. If you've never seen the movie Kicking and Screaming, it's my favorite comedy movie of all time. Like, of all time. Easily. I've watched it more times than I can count. So Will Ferrell is just, I love him. So Elf is on the list at all times. Now for number one. Number one. The Grinch. Chris is the Grinch. Please. And let me be clear, The Grinch, year 2000, Jim Carrey, The Grinch, you know what I mean? Taylor Momsen, has Christine Baranski, and Jeffrey Tambor. It don't matter, Jim Carrey's in it. The GOAT of Christmas movies, in my opinion. Seeing The Grinch in movie theaters was one of my earliest memories of going to the movies. Like, my mom took us when we were very young, like took me and my siblings to see that movie when we were very young. And it was like one of my earliest memories of being in movie theaters. And I just remember cracking up in the theater, like, this movie is hilarious. Like, stuff that it wasn't even sinking in then that sinks in now that is so funny that I was still cracking up at it. It was just hilarious. It was a hilarious movie to me and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Jim Carrey's Grinch will never be topped. I don't know, when they try to come out with that animated Grinch, no. I'm never gonna ever respect another Grinch other than Jim Carrey's Grinch. Jim Carrey's Grinch is the Grinch. He's before the book Grinch, in my opinion. And the book Grinch was before him, but he's still before them. He's still the dad. He birthed it. That book. The book Grinch is his son. It's his. He's the Grinch. There are just too many seriously funny moments in this movie to count. One of my favorite parts of the movie is when they're having the jubilation and Mayor May, who gives the Grinch those clippers, and it just sets him off, and he's like, that's what it's always been about. This. Why? Because he was like, you want to know what happened to your gifts? They come to me in the garbage. You see what I'm saying? In your garbage. That part is my favorite part. One of my favorite parts, because the Grinch movie, the movie Grinch, is just a collection of my favorite parts. It's a collection of favorite parts. My family and I have literally adopted so much of the language and dialogue from the Grinch and phrases into our regular dialogue. Like, we just say random Grinch quotes all the time. Like, since, like, it's been our thing, like, for all of our life. It's just such a big part of Christmas for us, and just in general, we watch that movie year round. You know, it's the Grinch. It's like, the Grinch is not only like the best Christmas movie in my opinion, but it's just one of the best movies in general. Like I said, you can watch that movie anytime. It's just that good. It's so funny. I have to admit though, I feel like the rest of the world kind of caught on to the Grinch late. Like, since we saw it in the theater when we were young kids, it's been a staple for us. It ain't new. You know, it didn't take the animated Grinch to make me appreciate the OG. Y'all had to watch the animated Grinch, say, this up, and then watch the other one. I don't want no Despicable Me looking Grinch. Like, me and my family are not like the most copacetic group of people. We all agree on the Grinch. We can all agree on that, right? It's something that is gonna bind us together. What is your top 5 must-see Christmas movies during Christmas season that you just can't skip? Leave it in the comments, and I hope you guys have a bomb Christmas. I'm so excited because for me, I'm on Christmas break right now, and I'm a teacher, so I have Christmas break right now, 2 weeks free. So I'm pretty happy about the season. Yeah, I hope that the rest of you guys are having a nice break. If you're on Christmas break, you're a student or you're a teacher too, hope you're having a restful break. Please don't do no work, don't grade any papers. Just relax, spend time with your family and friends. Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.